Cantos 43 to 45 of Book 3 of the Ramayan of Valmiki, translated by Ralph T.H. Griffith. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Om123. Canto 43. The Wondrous Deer. She stopped, her hands with flowers to feel, but gazed upon the marvel still, gazed on its back and sparkling side, where silver hues with golden vied. Joyous was she of faultless mould, with glossy skin like polished gold, and loudly to her husband cried, and bow-armed Lakshman by his side. Again she called in glee, "Oh, come, this glorious creature see! Quick, quick, my lord, this deer to view, and bring thy brother Lakshman too." As through the wood her clear tones rang, swift to her side the brother sprang. With eager eyes the grove they scanned, and saw the deer before them stand. But doubt was strong in Lakshman's breast, who thus his thought and fear expressed. "Stay, for the wondrous deer we see, the fiend Maricha's self may be. Ere now have kings who sought this place, to take their pastime in the chase, met from his wicked art defeat, and fallen slain by like deceit. He wears, well trained in magic guile, the figure of a deer awhile, bright as the very sun or place where dwell the gay Gandharva race. No deer, O Rama, ever was seen thus decked with gold and jewels sheen. It is magic, for the world has never, Lord of the world, shown aught so fair." But Sita, of the lovely smile, a captive to the giant's wile, turned Lakshman's prudent speech aside, and thus with eager words replied, "My honoured lord, this deer I see, with beauty rare enraptures me. Go, chief of mighty arm, and bring, for my delight, this precious thing. Fair creatures of the woodland roam, untroubled, near our home at home. The forest cow and stag are there, the fawn, the monkey, and the bear, where spotted deer delight to play, and strong and beauteous kinder stray. But never, as they wandered by, has such a beauty charmed mine eye, as this with limbs so fair and slight, so gentle, beautiful, and bright. Oh, see, how fair it is to view, with jewels of each varied hue. Bright as the rising moon it glows, lighting the wood wherever it goes. Ah me, what form and grace are there, its limbs how fine, its hues how fair! Transcending all that words express, it takes my soul with loveliness. Oh, if thou would, to please me, strive to take the beauteous thing alive, how thou wouldst gaze with wondering eyes, delighted on the lovely prize. And when our woodland life is over, and we enjoy our realm once more, the wondrous animal will grace the chambers of my dwelling place. And the dear treasure will it be to Bharat and the queens and me, and all with rapture and amaze upon its heavenly form will gaze. But if the beauteous deer, pursued, thine arts to take it still elude, strike it, O chieftain, and the skin will be a treasure laid within. Oh, how I long my time to pass, striking upon the tender grass, with that soft fell beneath me spread, bright with its hair of golden thread. This strong desire, this eager wail, befits a gentle lady ill. But when I first beheld its look, my breast with fascination took. See, golden hair its flank adorns, and sapphires tip its branching horns, resplendent as the lunar way, or the first blush of opening day. With graceful form and radiant hue, it charmed thy heart, O chieftain, too. He heard her speech with willing ear. He looked again upon the deer. Its lovely shape his breast beguiled, moved by the prayer of Janak's child, and yielding for her pleasure's sake, to Lakshman Rama turned and spake. Mark, Lakshman, mark how Sita's breast with eager longing is purchased. To-day this deer of wondrous breed must for his passing beauty bleed. Brighter than ever in Nandan strait, or Chitrarat's heavenly shade. How should the groves of art purchase such all-surpassing loveliness? The hair lies smooth and bright and fine, or waves upon each curving line, and drafts of living gold bedeck the beauty of his side and neck. Oh, look, his crimson tongue between his teeth like flaming fire is seen, flashing whenever his lips he parts, as from a cloud the lightning darts. Oh, see his sun-like forehead shine with emerald tints and almandine, while pearly light and roseate glow of shells adorn his neck below. No eye on such a deer can rest, but soft enchantment takes the breast. No man so fair a thing behold, ablaze with light of radiant gold, celestial, bright with jewel sheen, nor marvel when his eyes have seen. A king equipped with bow and shaft delights in gentle forest craft, and, as in boundless woods he strays, the quarry for the vanishing slays. There, as he wanders with his train, a store of wealth he oft may gain. He claims by right the precious ore, he claims the jewel's sparkling store. Such gains are dearer in his eyes than wealth that is in chamber lies. The dearest things his spirit knows, dear as the bliss which Sukra chose. But of the rich expected gain, which heedless man pursue in vain, the sage who prudent counsels know, explain and in a moment show. This best of deer, this gem of all, to yield his precious spoil must fall, and tender Sita by my side shall sit upon the golden hide. Never could I find so rich a coat on spotted deer or sheep or goat. No buck or antelope has such, so bright to view, so soft to touch. This radiant deer and one on high, that moves in glory through the sky, alike in heavenly beauty are, one on the earth and one a star. But brother, if thy fears be true, and this bright creature that we view be fierce Maricha in disguise, then by this hand he surely dies. For that dire fiend whose pawns control, with bloody hand and cruel soul, has roamed this forest and dismayed the holiest saints who haunt the shade. Great archers sprung of royal race, pursuing in the wood the chase, have fallen by his wicked art, and now my shaft shall strike his heart. Vatapi by his magic power made heedless saints his flesh devour. Then from within the frames he rent, forth bursting from imprisonment. But once his art in senseless pride upon the mightiest saint he tried, Augustia's self, and caused him taste the baited meal before him placed. Vatapi, when the ride was over, would take the giant form he wore, but Saint Augustia knew his wile, and checked the giant with smile. Vatapi, thou with cruel spite hast conquered many an anchorite, the noblest of the Brahman caste, and now thy ruin comes at last. Now if my power he thus defies, this giant like Vatapi dies, daring to scorn a man like me, a self-subduing devotee. Yea, as Augustia slew the foe, my hand shall lay Maricha low. Clad in thine arms, thy bow in hand, to guard the mighty lady stand. With watchful eye and thoughtful breast, keeping each word of my behest, I go and hunting through the brake, this wondrous deer will bring or take. Yes, surely I will bring the spoil, returning from my hunter's toil. See, Lakshman, how my consort's eyes are longing for the lovely prize. This day it falls that I may win the treasure of so fair a skin. Do thou and Sita watch with care, lest danger siege you unaware. Swift from my bow one shaft will fly, the stricken deer will fall and die. Then quickly will I strip the game, and bring the trophy to my dame. Jatayus, guardian good and wise, our old and faithful friend, the best and strongest bird that flies, his willing aid will lend. The mighty lady well protect, for every chance provide, and in thy tender care suspect a foe on every side. Canto 44. Maricha's Death. Thus, having warned his brother bold, he grasped his sword with haft of gold, and bow with triple flexure bent, his own delight and ornament. Then bound two quivers to his side, and hurried forth with eager stride. Soon as the Antelian monarch saw the lord of monarchs near him draw, a while with trembling heart he fled, then turned and showed his stately head. With sword and bow the chief pursued wherever the fleeing deer he viewed, sending from dell and lone recess the splendor of his loveliness. Now full in view the creature stood, now vanished in the depth of wood, now running with a languid flight, now like a meteor lost to sight. With trembling limbs away he sped, then like the moon with clouds overspread, gleamed for a moment bright between the trees, and was again unseen. Thus in the magic deer's disguise Maricha lured him to the prize, and seen a while, then lost to view, far from his cot the hero drew. Still by the flying game deceived, the hunter's heart was wrought and grieved, and, wearied with fruitless chase, he stayed him in a shady place. Again the rover of the night, and raised the chieftain full in sight, slow moving in the coppice near, surrounded by the woodland deer. Again the hunter sought the game that seemed a while to court his aim, but seized again with sudden dread, beyond his sight the creature fled. Again the hero left the shade, again the deer before him strayed. With surer hope and stronger will, the hunter longed his prey to kill. Then as his soul impatient grew, an arrow from his side he drew, resplendent at the sunbeam's glow, the crusher of the smitten foe. With skilful heed the mighty lord fixed well shaft and strained the cord. Upon the deer his eyes he bent, and like a fiery serpent went the arrow Brahma's self had framed, alive with sparks that hissed and flamed. Like Indra's flashing levin true, to the false deer the missile flew. Cleaving his flesh, that wondrous dart stood quivering in Maricha's heart. Scars from the ground, 1 foot he sprang, then stricken fell with deadly pang. Half lifeless, as he pressed the ground, he gave a roar of awful sound, and ere the wounded giant died, he threw his borrowed form aside. Remembering still his lord's behest, he pondered in his heart how best Sita's might send her guard away, and Ravan seize the helpless prey. The monster knew the time was nigh, and called aloud with eager cry, "Ho, Sita, Lakshman!" and the tone he borrowed was like Rama's own. So by that matchless arrow cleft, the deer's bright form Maricha left, resumed his giant shape and size, and closed in death his languid eyes. When Rama saw his awful foe, gasp, smeared with blood, in deadly throe, his anxious thoughts to Sita sped, and the wise words that Lakshman said, that this was false Maricha's art, returned again upon his heart. He knew the foe he triumphed over, the name of great Maricha bore. The fiend he pondered, ere he died, "Ho Lakshman, ho my Sita," cried. Ah, if that cry has reached her ear, how dire must be my darling's fear! And Lakshman of the mighty arm, what thinks he in his wild alarm? As thus he thought in sad surmise, its startled hair began to rise. And when he saw the giant slain, and thought upon that cry again, his spirit sank, and terror pressed full sorely on the hero's breast. Another deer he chased and struck, he bore away the fallen buck. The Janastan then turned his face, and hastened to his dwelling place. Canto 45. Lakshman's Departure. But Sita, hearing, as she thought, her husband's cry with anguish fraught, called to her guardian, "Lakshman, run, and in the wood seek Raghu's son. Scarce can my heart retain its throne, scarce can my life be called mine own, as all my powers and senses fail at that long, loud, and bitter wail. Haste to the wood with all thy speed, and save thy brother in his need. Go save him in the distant glade, where loud he calls for timely aid. He falls beneath some giant foe, a bull whom lions overthrow." Deaf to her prayer, no step he steered, obedient to his mother's word. Then Janak's child, with ire inflamed, in words of bitter scorn exclaimed, "Sumitra's son, a friend in show, thou art in truth thy brother's foe. Who canst at such any hour deny thy succour and neglect his cry? Yes, Lakshman, smit with love of me, thy brother's death thou fain wouldst see. This guilty love thy heart has swayed, and makes thy feet so loath to aid. Thou hast no love for Rama, no, thy joy is vice, thy thoughts are low. Hence thus unmoved thou yet canst stay, while my dear lord is far away. If aught of ill my lord betide, who led thee here, thy chief and guide, oh, what will be my hapless fate, left in the wild wood desolate?" Thus spoke the lady, sad with fear, with many a sigh and many a tear, still trembling like a captured doe, and Lakshman spoke to calm her woe. "Videhan queen, be sure of this, and at the thought thy fear dismiss. Thy husband's mightier power defies all gods and angels of the skies, Gandharvas and the sons of light, serpents and the rovers of the night. I tell thee of the sons of art, of gods who boast celestial birth, of beasts and birds and giant hosts, of demigods, Gandharvs, ghosts, of awful fiends, O thou most fear. There lives not one whose heart would dare to meet thy Rama in the fight, like Indra's self unmatched in might. Such idle words thou must not say, thy Rama lives, whom none may slay. I will not, cannot leave thee here in the wild wood till he be near. The mightier strength can never withstand his eager force, his vigorous hand. No, not the triple world allied, with all thy mortal gods beside. Dismiss thy fear, again take heart, let all thy doubt and war depart. Thy Lord, be sure, will soon be here, and bring thee back the best of dear. Not his that mournful cry, nor haply came it from the sky. Some giant's art was busy there, and framed a castle based on air. A precious pledge art thou, consigned to me by him of noblest mind, nor can I, fairest dame, forsake the pledge which Rama bade me take. Upon our heads, O queen, we drew the giant's hate when Rama slew their chieftain Kara and the shade of Janastan in ruin laid. Through all this mighty wood they rove, with varied cries from grove to grove. On rapine bent they wander here, but oh, dismiss thy causeless fear. Bright flashed her eye as Lakshman spoke, and forth her words of fury broke. Upon her truthful guardian flung, with bitter taunts that pierced and stung. Shame on such false compassion, base, defiler of thy glorious race. It were joyous sight, I ween, to thee, my lord in direst strait, to see. Thou knowest Rama sore bested, a word like this thou never hadst said. No marvel if we find such sin in rivals false to kith and kin. Wretches like thee of evil mind, concealing crime with crafty mind. Thou wretch, thine aid wilt still deny, and leave my lord alone to die. Has love of me unnerved thy hand, of words art this ruin planned? But be the treachery his or thine, in vain the base design. For how shall I, the chosen bride of dark-hued Rama, lotus-eyed, the queen who once called Rama mine, to love of other man decline? Believe me, Lakshman, Rama's wife, before thine eyes will quit this life, and not a moment will she stay, if her dear lord have passed away. The lady's bitter speech that stirred each hair upon his frame he heard. With lifted hands together laid, his calm reply he gently made. The words have I to answer now, my deity or queen art thou. But it is no marvel, dame, to find such lack of sense in womankind. Throughout this world, O mortal dame, weak women's hearts are still the same. Inconstant, urged by envious spite, they sever friends and hate to right. I cannot brook, bedihamed queen, thy words intolerably keen. Mine ears thy fierce reproaches pain, as boiling water seethes the brain. And now to bear me witness, all the dwellers in the wood I call, that when with words of truth I plead, this harsh reply is all my meed. Ah, woe is thine! Ah, grief that still, eager to do my brother's will, mourning thy woman's nature, I must see thee doubt my truth and die. I fly to Rama's side, and oh, may bliss attend thee while I go. May all attendant wood gods screen thy head from harm, O large-eyed queen. And though dire omens meet my sight, and fill my soul with wild affright, may I return in peace and see the son of Raghu safe with thee. The child of Janak heard him speak, and the hot teardrops down her cheek, increasing to a torrent, ran, and thus once more the dame began. O Lakshman, if I widowed be, Godavari's flood shall cover me, or I will die by cord or leap, life weary, from yon rocky steep. Or deadly poison will I drink, or on it the kindled flames will sink, but never reft of Rama can consent to touch a meaner man. The metal dame with many sighs, and torrents pouring from her eyes, the faithful Lakshman thus addressed, and smote her hands upon her breast. Sumitra's son, overwhelmed by fears, looked on the large-eyed queen. He saw that flood of burning tears, he saw that piteous mien. He yearned sweet comfort to afford, he strove to soothe her pain, but to the brother of her lord she spoke no word again. His reverent hands once more he raised, his head he slightly bent, upon her face he sadly gazed, and then toward Rama went. End of Cantos 43, 44 and 45.